Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, we've been working on the Sony Av-5000A for a couple days now, and I pretty much got it where I want it. This is a very unusual color machine from 1969, 1970. It was first color black and white EIAJ half-inch tape recorder that was produced, and it's an amazing machine. Anyways, you were able to record your video levels and color black and white depending on what you wanted to do with this machine. This was a really big time piece of junk, people. Trust me. I could see why they went with the NTSC color instead of the Pilot Tone color, which is what this is. Anyways, we did service the modulation board, fixing some transistors and the color filter modules, which are on the bottom. There was a what do you call it, a production problem with the board, which caused these color modules to always go bad because this thing would get very, very hot because there's relays in it, and this thing does not have good cooling from the bottom of the unit, and it would just, these filters would short out. Anyways, it's a big problem with this machine. I've had parts since the 90s. I was able to fix it. I know this machine very, very well. Anyways, it also has a color board on the very side, which has an awful lot of filter modules on it. And it's a very complex color Pilot Tone system. It's not like the NTSC. But if you have tapes done on this machine, an Av-5000 or 5000A, you have to have the machine to play it back. It does not play on any other Sony EIAJ or Panasonic machines. This color unit was indigenous to itself, meaning no other machine will play those tapes back in color. I did have a couple wedding tapes I just got done doing for a customer about a week ago. They've been searching for like 20 years. They did have their wedding. It was shot on a Sony Av-5000A. Nobody was able to produce the wedding to a DVD or a VHS at the time in color. They tried for over 20 years to find somebody. They came across my YouTube page. They came by. I was able to get it in color. These people were so happy. And we made a Blu-ray disc for them, and they were done with it. They were like, finally after 20 freaking years, But anyways, we do have somebody in Chicago who has a bunch of tapes from WGN and WFLD, which I will be working on. And it's a bunch of Sony Av-5000, 5000A tapes like this. We do own both models. I have the 5000 and 5000A. There was a message left about the incompatibility of these two decks. That's not necessarily true. They're incompatible when it comes to the recording signal because they raised the recording signal higher on the 5000A than they did on the 5000. But when you play a tape that's an Av-5000, that was recorded on an Av-5000, it does play in color on the Av-5000A. So I don't know if that was a discrepancy on whoever wrote that in the service manual, but I'm living proof that that is not true because I do have 3 of these machines. So an Av-5000 will play in color on an Av-5000A. It will, trust me. I've done a lot of these tapes over the years, and but anyways, they're not incompatible for playback. They're incompatible because of the color levels. I mean, they raised the color signal slightly on the 5000A compared to the Av-5000. But anyways, we're doing some work on this thing today. We did have some major problems with this unit, but as you can see, we're getting some killer color loop through on this. It's looping through an NTSC DVD. It's looping through the deck and record. The color signal is just killer. I mean, everything on these boards are working right. I just got done setting the trimmers on these and repairing the front board. Yeah, this is going to be a good color playback unit, big time. So I'm just double checking some things. Also, we had a big problem. Due to the age of this particular machine, this thing was in a very, very poor environment. I don't know where this thing was stored, but when I got it, he told me he got it at a ham fest in Chicago. I think this thing has been sitting for a long time, and in Chicago is a very bad environment anyways because of the seasons, but this thing was really, really bad, folks. The grease was hard as a rock. I did replace a couple capacitors. I didn't want to recap the whole unit. I just want to get it up and running so I could actually use it for playback. But like I said, this particular unit did have a lot of problems. All of a sudden I was using it off camera when I was testing a playback tape, and the scanner itself, through the motors on this unit that keeps the motors at the correct speed, automatically just went into a complete slide stop, and all of a sudden I started smelling like smoke or something like burning, and of course the power supply burnt up on this thing. All right, I got a couple rare spare power supplies. This is just an example, but this is the one that came out of it. These three caps went bad. I think this board was starting to smoke a little bit, and these caps ain't that great either. But this power supply has several caps and an actual voltage board, regulator board on it. Well, these caps right here run your motors, and these are definitely no good. I already checked them, and they were just, this whole board was, it's, you know, smelling like it was on fire, and the deck just stopped playing completely. But anyways, this is a power supply for the Av-5000A. I did have another one, a new one. We did swap it out to get it back up and running to where it belongs, which took about half hour. It's a very simple supply to pop out from the bottom, but there's several wires you have to resolder back on this. But these power supplies do go bad, people, and if these machines are in very, very bad environments, especially this one, this hasn't been used in several decades, guarantee it. Not a great idea just to turn them on, but unfortunately you have to turn them on to see if they work, and unfortunately it did work for a good couple hours once I powered it up, but then the scanner completely stopped and all motors stopped completely. Thought it was a fuse and checked fuses, and it wasn't that, and then this thing started smoking, and the smell was just unbelievable. But anyways, we changed the power supply out on this Av-5000A, got the motor spinning properly. Now we got video playing through it really well. Anyways, guys, if you have any Sony Av-5000A, Sony Av-5000, and you have EIAJ tapes that were done on this machine, we can do them. And this is a very, very rare machine. If any of these machines are found, majority of them, 99% of them, I guarantee you, do not work. And I've had a lot of these over the years. I must have had a good 30, maybe 40, maybe 45 of these over the years. I've had a lot of this model over the years, and all the ones I've ever fixed or had in my possession did not work. So if you guys ever come across tapes like this and you want them in color and you know what's on them, or you have collections, Obsolete Video Services can help you out. This is what we do. And anyways, I'm going to be buttoning up the rest of the stuff on this thing today, and we'll be able to put it in my living room, and we'll be ready for a Chicago collection of tapes that are going to be sent to me, and we'll get start knocking them out for this customer. So I hope you enjoyed this video.